So here's a test using a Cognex 3D camera where we temporarily mounted the camera online and grabbed online images of a carpet sample that we were using. On this system that you see here, we have a 3D image, a rendered image of, or I should say a raw image of the carpet. And you can see the different characteristics of the carpet here with the backing along the edge. This window right here is a cross section of this. So this is the carpet section, and this is where it goes off of the carpet onto the backing, which you can see would be a nice little drop off right along the edge of the carpet. This image over here, which is my preferred method of doing this, is using edge tools to find this edge of the carpet here and this edge of the backing over here. Some of the edge finding tools are red and green. That's just because I've set it up to get rid of some of the outliers to give us a more robust edge. So I'm just going to run through some images here real quick so you can get a good idea of what the image looks like, or the different images that we're updating. And I'll get to a good image here. I guess you can see the different angles of the carpet. You can see that it's sculpted along the edge here. It's not straight carpet. And that's where you can see these little red indicators where if we got too far off the found line, it kicks it out as bad data. It's something that we can adjust depending on what we want to do. I've been along here to some more damaged edges, if I can find one. As you can see, the cross-section tool as well as the edge finding tools work just fine. So here's an edge that we push the edge way down. You can see finding the corner of the carpet is no problem for the cross-section tool. It's also no problem for this edge tool. Now this edge tool comes in very close because that's actually where the edge of the carpet is. The edge of the backing. As you push it down, it gets closer to the edge of the carpet. Same thing that we see here. Now we also have some data. So here where I'm measuring the distance to the edge of the carpet, that's just the distance from this edge of the carpet, which is the edge of the field of view of the 3D camera, over to this line that we are finding along here. And then the angle of this edge is just showing us how well this angle is straight up and down. We want it to be right at 90 degrees. The distance to the backing edge, that's going to be from this line over to this line. Let me go to another one. Oh, that was a good one. We'll come back to it. But that's to this distance here, or this edge. And you can see that this distance is further. It's 78.9 millimeters from here to this edge. The edge of the carpet is 55.1 millimeters from here to here. And you can see this angle is a little bit off at 86 degrees. This one's a little straighter at 89 degrees. That angle is going to give us an indication of how well that line is being measured. So we can adjust that if we wanted to give it a little bit of a fudge factor. So you can see this one's tilted up right here, and you can see this edge. We get a good measurement here of 68 millimeters, but that's going to be an average across this line, and that angle is 96 degrees. So there are some mathematical adjustments that we can make there. The carpet edge still measures very well, and it's 90 degrees. So you can see this one pretty damaged. I shouldn't say damaged, but pushed up, so there's a lot of fluctuation on it. When it works, when we have nice flat images, we get good measurements on both, but you can see that even though this thing is relatively flat, there's still some good undulations here along the edge of the backing. It's not very straight, and I know it can get worse than that. Anyway, some of these are good, some are bad, but we get good measurements using the cross-section tool and the edge tools here either way. Here's a nice one of some good undulation across there where we can see it a little better. Now we have one coming up here that I wanted to show specifically where, see, that's a nice sharp edge coming down, and it's got some curvature to it there. and we found the edges no problem. There's one we have coming up as I loop through these images where we have a mating surface where two rolls of carpet came together. There's a good one with some nice character to the edge. There we go. So this is where there was a seam. So the two pieces were sewn together in the seam, and you can see we find the edge of the carpet no problem. We don't really care how far this thing is pushed up or down, we're going to find the edge of that carpet. Now when we're trying to find the edge of the seam, you can see how harsh this angle gets here, because each one of these calipers, it is finding the edge, and it's finding the edge down here, and it gave us a distance to the backing of 56. Well, we know that that's not true, but it's more of where in the middle are we, or what's that average. But you can see the angle is 104. Well, point is we still found the carpet accurately, not the backing so much, but there are some ways that we could look or try to avoid doing something like that by looking at the individual calipers if we wanted to. And if we get too harsh of an angle, we can determine something from the angle, or even the difference between the two angles from the edge line to this line. Anyway, quick run through, just looking at all the images. If we wanted to, I left this image as black and white. If we wanted to colorize it, we can do that as well, but that's really just for human consumption on how we want the image to look. I didn't like it too much because it offset the graphics of where my lines are, but we can run through a few here and you can see how a colorized image would look. Anyway, that's all we have for the test. Very successful. Look forward to putting it online.